Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Central, and I'm your host Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So I'm back. We've been away for a month. I went back to my hometown with my husband and my daughter and had a vacation. I'm originally from Montreal, Canada, and I haven't been back in 3 years. As everyone knows, I was pregnant, I had a baby, so obviously over the past few years I haven't had the time, or it hasn't been the right time to go home. And so it's super exciting to go home and see family and friends and have a good month back in Montreal, Canada. And it was also my husband and my daughter. It was their first time in North America, so that too is just a very special trip for all of us, and a very busy trip as well. And so I thought today to kick things off, since I'm back into making videos again, is to talk a little bit about some of the observations and some of the changes that I noticed while being back in North America. Because a few people have asked me, what have I noticed that has changed? I moved away to Southeast Asia 4 years ago, and it has been 3 years since I was last back. And so when you've been away for a while, when you come back, the changes or the differences really stand out. And so some people have asked me, what have I noticed that has changed, and what's the difference when it comes down to living a healthier lifestyle and eating healthy? What's the difference between living in Southeast Asia compared to North America? Is one easier than the other? Are the same types of foods available? All of that. And so today I thought maybe I'll talk a little bit about that, and first starting to talk a bit about the changes that I've seen. I've only been away for 3 years, but in those 3 years, it's amazing to see how much things have changed. And I think the main thing that has stood out to me when I returned to Montreal was just how much more healthy food is available, and how it's becoming more and more not only available, but more and more mainstream and more trendy. It's definitely on the up and up and more popular. And to me, that's super exciting because it makes things so much easier. I was amazed to see how many new health food stores were opening up, and how much the grocery stores have now made areas within the grocery store that are specifically for health foods, or how much restaurants are opening up that are healthy food restaurants, or other restaurants that have healthier options on their menu. Like it was very impressive to see just the changes, and it's only going to get better and better. And for me, that was super encouraging, not only for myself, but also I'm a health coach, right? And most of my clients are in North America and also in other Western countries, and that a lot of times can be the biggest challenge, is that you're trying to eat a healthy diet, and you need to be able to get healthy food, and you need to get it easier. And I find that the more that's available, the easier it is to stick on a healthy diet. So it's encouraging to see that, because just even 3-4 years ago, when I last lived in Canada or visited Canada, it was hard sometimes to get some of this stuff, or it was hard to choose a restaurant to go to that would have something healthy on the menu, or eating organic foods was a little bit strange for some people. So a lot of people didn't know about organic foods. A lot of people didn't know about locally grown foods, or the advantages of eating that or supporting that industry. And I find nowadays more and more people know about this stuff. It's way more popular and way more socially acceptable. So it was great to see that, really, really great, very encouraging. I would say on the downside though, the thing that I found to be quite shocking was how big the grocery stores are getting, how much processed food and fast food and junk food, how it's just everywhere, and also portion size. I was quite shocked to see the portion sizes and how much it differs from living in Southeast Asia and what's available here. Obviously, from different food practices and just different environments and different way of even storing food, that food is different. It's available in different ways because of different cultures, different climates, different everything, different ways of eating and different traditions. So portions in North America, just either at a restaurant or even at a grocery store, are enormous compared to what it is here. And one of the main reasons why, and this is not necessarily talked about a lot, is that in Southeast Asia, most people, especially in Indonesia, most people don't have a refrigerator. Okay, so people can't store food. When people are buying food, the traditional way would be to get your food and eat it that day. And that's what people do. Even if people have refrigerators, they're still used to sort of the traditional way of gathering their food, whether they're getting their food from their own garden or they're buying it, that they make their food for that day, for that meal. Everything's freshly made. You're not buying bulk items and storing it. Maybe grains or something like that, but even so, the climate here, it's so hot and humid that dried goods don't stay good They don't stay good for very long. The moment you open any kind of package, the humidity gets into that food and it goes bad very quickly. So everything has to be sold in very small amounts that you eat right away. And so it makes it way easier when you want to stay on a healthy diet and eat fresh, wholesome food to be doing it that way, where you're buying your food for what you're going to eat that day and buying small amounts. And the problem with North America is that everything is sold in such large quantities, huge quantities, like massive. Everything's family sized, and so it can be very challenging for someone that, let's say they want to lose weight, but once in a while they want a treat, but that treat only comes in this huge bag. You know, it's hard, you know, or people are buying things for their family and they're trying not to be tempted by the foods, but it's always there and it's always in these large amounts, and people tend to overeat that. So I would say that's can be a huge disadvantage, even within the health foods. You know, I just know, even from working with people in North America, is that, you know, they buy health foods that are treats or pre-made, and because there's so many items sold in that package or in that jar or in there, so many servings, that it becomes a challenge to just eat one serving. And so I definitely can say that it's easier here, where everything is just sold serving size and much smaller in portions. So that to me is the only disadvantage. But when you look on the other end of things, of how much more choices you have of eating healthier foods and how it's becoming more and more available. Like, I was amazed just even going to a convenience store. I was in Toronto, and you can get coconut water, like, and pure coconut water, not sweetened coconut water, not coconut water that's flavored with some weird stuff, but just pure coconut water at a convenience store. I was like floored by that, and having the choice of like 5 brands. So for me, that was huge changes as well, because in North America, people are on the go. They need things fast, and they are used to things being made easier. And so it's good to see that the health food is becoming easier. Yeah, there might be big portions of everything, but at least it's more accessible. And so that to me is huge, and it's just great to see that this stuff is becoming more and more popular. People are more and more informed, all of that. It's interesting. It's interesting to, like, I went to a dinner party, and someone was telling me that they were experimenting with the paleo diet, right? And years ago, someone would be talking about doing like diets of eating artificial foods or eating microwave foods and things like that. But now people are trying more natural foods or diets using natural foods as a way either to lose weight or reverse health conditions or just to feel healthier. And so that too I found to be really great, is that these things are becoming more and more well known, and it's becoming more of a trend, and that's a good thing. It's a very positive thing. So all is good. I had a great vacation, and it's great to be back. I'm happy to be back in Asia as well. So it's good to be back. The videos are going to get started again, and I wanted to do a little shout out to someone, because on our way back to Montreal, we were flying back, and there was someone that worked for Air Canada. His name is Pierre. He was one of the stewards, and he is a follower of Radiant Central in my videos, and he was very excited to meet me, and I was excited to meet him. That I just want to give a shout out to him and just say hello, and because it's always encouraging for me to run into someone that watches the videos and all of that, and is a supporter of Radiant Central. So I just want to say hello. And I want to mention too that last month I launched the new program, the 7-Day Whole Food Challenge, and it's starting again this coming Monday, October 20th. There's a raw food challenge that's starting on the 13th, and then on the October 20th there's the whole food challenge. So if you're interested either in doing a raw food diet for a week, that starts October 13th, or if you want to do whole foods for a week, that starts October 20th. And both programs, they're online programs. When you sign up to them, you get the ebook that comes with the program that outlines the whole program, plus recipes and guidelines as to everything you need to do. And then once the program starts, it's a group program. There's an online forum, there's videos that come with the program that guide you through either doing the raw food challenge or the whole food challenge, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in joining either one of the programs or you want more information, just go to my website at radiantcentral.com, click on products, and you'll see it there. Have a super fabulous day, everyone, and it is great to be back. Bye!